Skeleton of the foot. The skeleton of the foot consists of three groups of bones: tarsal bones, metatarsal bones, and phalanges. Tarsal bones. These are a group of short bones which form the posterior part of the foot. They are 7 in number and are arranged in 3 rows. The proximal row consists of the talus and the calcaneus. The middle row consists of the navicular. The distal row from medial to lateral consists of the medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, lateral cuneiform, and cuboid bone. The navicular bone actually lies between the talus and the 3 cuneiform bones. Talus. It is the second largest bone of the foot and transmits the body weight from the leg to the foot. It is a short bone. It does not give attachment to any muscles. It consists of a head, neck, and body. Head. The head lies distally and is covered by articular cartilage. It has an anterior and inferior surface. The anterior surface presents a convex articular facet which articulates with the navicular bone. The inferior surface has 3 articular facets: posterior facet, which articulates with the calcaneus to form the subtalar joint; middle facet, which articulates with the spring ligament; anterolateral facet, which articulates with the calcaneus. Neck. This is the constricted part which connects the head with the body and has a plantar and a dorsal surface. Body. The body of the talus is cuboidal in shape and has 5 surfaces. Superior surface. It is trochlear in shape and articulates with the lower end of the tibia. Inferior surface. It articulates with the calcaneus to form the subtalar joint. Medial surface. Its upper part has a facet which articulates with the medial malleolus. Lateral surface. It has a facet which articulates with the lateral malleolus. Posterior surface. It projects backwards as the posterior process of the talus. It also has a groove for the tendon of the flexor hallucis longus. Calcaneus. The calcaneus is an irregularly cuboid tarsal bone which takes part in transmission of the body weight. It is the largest and strongest tarsal bone. It is a short bone. It presents with 6 surfaces. The anterior surface is small and articulates with the cuboid bone. The posterior surface, the superior surface, the plantar surface is rough and has 3 tubercles: the anterior tubercle, the calcaneal tuberosity, which is present at its posterior end, presents with the medial and lateral tubercles. The lateral surface is subcutaneous. The peroneal trochlea is a small elevation in the anterior part and is situated between the groove for the tendon of the peroneus brevis and the groove for the tendon of the peroneus longus muscles. The medial surface presents a projection known as the sustentaculum tali in its upper part. The superior surface of the sustentaculum tali articulates with the talus, and its inferior surface has a groove for the tendon of the flexor hallucis longus. Navicular bone. It is boat-shaped and is situated between the talus posteriorly and 3 cuneiform bones anteriorly. It is a short bone. It has 6 surfaces. The distal surface has 3 articular facets for the 3 cuneiform bones. The proximal surface articulates with the head of the talus. The dorsal surface is rough. The plantar surface presents a groove for the tendon of the tibialis posterior. The lateral surface is also rough. The medial surface presents with the tuberosity. Cuboid bone. It is a short bone and is cuboid in shape. It presents with 6 surfaces. The anterior surface has medial and lateral articular facets which articulate with the base of the fourth and fifth metatarsal bones respectively. The posterior surface articulates with the anterior surface of the calcaneus. The dorsal surface is rough. The medial surface has two articular facets which articulate with the navicular and lateral cuneiform bones. The lateral surface is grooved. Cuneiform bones. There are three cuneiform bones: medial, intermediate, and lateral. All three are short bones and are wedge-shaped. The medial cuneiform bone is the largest and the intermediate cuneiform bone is the smallest. The proximal surfaces of all the three bones articulate with the navicular bone. The distal surface of the medial cuneiform articulates with the base of the first metatarsal bone. The distal surface of the intermediate cuneiform articulates with the base of the second metatarsal bone. The distal surface of the lateral cuneiform articulates with the base of the third metatarsal bone. Metatarsal bones. These bones are 5 in number and together make up the metatarsus. They are all miniature long bones. They are numbered from 1 to 5 from the medial to lateral side. Parts. Each metatarsal bone has 3 parts: a head or distal end, a body or shaft, and a base or proximal end. The head of each metatarsal bone articulates with the base of the corresponding phalanx to form the metatarsophalangeal joint. The base of the first metatarsal articulates with the medial cuneiform bone. The base of the second metatarsal articulates with the intermediate cuneiform bone. The base of the third metatarsal articulates with the lateral cuneiform bone. And the base of the fourth and fifth metatarsals articulate with the cuboid bone. Phalangeal bones. The phalangeal bones are short bones. There are 14 phalanges for each foot. There are 2 bones for the great toe and 3 bones for the rest of the 4 toes. The greater toe has a proximal and a distal phalanx, whereas all the other toes have a proximal, middle, and distal phalanx. The base of each phalanx has a facet which articulates with the head of the corresponding metatarsal bone to form the metatarsophalangeal joint. The distal end of the proximal phalanx has a pulley-like surface which articulates with the middle phalanx in the lateral 4 toes and the distal phalanx in the greater toe. The greater toe has 1 interphalangeal joint, whereas the remaining 4 toes have a proximal and a distal interphalangeal joint. Both the surfaces of the middle phalanx are pulley-shaped. The first metatarsal bone is the shortest, thickest, and strongest metatarsal. The second metatarsal bone is the longest. The fifth metatarsal bone presents with a projection at the lateral side of its base known as the styloid process. Clinical correlation. Fracture of the neck of the talus. This may occur due to forceful dorsiflexion of the foot. Since the artery supplying the talus enter through the anterior part of the neck, a fracture of this part may result in damage to the arteries and may result in delayed union or even avascular necrosis of the posterior segment of the bone. Jones fracture. This is a fracture of the styloid process of the fifth metatarsal bone. It usually occurs due to forced inversion of the forefoot where the peroneus brevis pulls off the styloid process leading to avulsion.